Dude, welcome back.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, dude. You know what? I just say we pick up right where we left off, right before the show went live. It's funny because every time we do these, with you, with other people, like we get right up to the time we're supposed to go live, and we're like, "Oh crap, we're talking about some really good stuff, but we got to go live." But
Yeah.
hey, talk about your shotgun because that is super interesting, and I just want to hear more about it.
Okay. So I've been shooting a Mossberg 535 12 gauge for many years now, and I don't know. I just wanted to mix things up. I've been having some issues with missing lately. Part of it, I think, is I switched to a youth stock on my 12 gauge, and it put my hand closer to my face, and I punched myself in the lip a couple times. I think subconsciously that may have created some anticipation of the shot, of the recoil, and so part of that was part of the problem. Also, I've discovered I always knew my trigger pull on my 12 gauge was a pretty heavy pull, and I got to looking and researching it and found out they come factory like 10 pounds. And so I ordered some springs to reduce the pull of the trigger, and I got to think about it. So, my buddy Garrett Prawl, he's been using a 510 mini Bantam 20 gauge that he bought for his wife. He's kind of fitted it for himself, like a little tactical stock and everything. I've got one here that my daughter used to hunt with. She doesn't hunt with it anymore. She uses a 410. I said, you know what? I can fit that thing, set it up for me to hunt with. So the first thing I did is I took an adult stock and put it on just to move the trigger assembly and all that part away from my face a little bit. I put a red dot on it, and I bought a Meadow Creek mount so I can mount the red dot out on the rib farther away. I haven't shot it other than patterning with the red dot, but it just feels so much more natural being out farther away from my eye. And I think it sits a little lower. I don't know. It just feels more natural. It feels like, I can get on target better. And that's what I've been told from a couple friends that swear by those mounts. Putting them out there on the rib farther away will help you acquire the target better. And there's not a red dot right up in your face blocking your view as you look around. So the gun has like an 18-inch barrel, and I'm shooting Apex number 9s through it with a factory .584 ported choke. I'm getting great patterns, nice evenly distributed pellets in a 13-inch diameter circle at 25 yards, and then at a 20-inch circle at 40 yards, where almost the entire pattern's inside those circles. So it's about the size that I like it at 25 yards, a nice 13 to 15. Sorry, I got to let the pup out of the room. I like a nice open pattern up close. Most of the turkeys I shoot are 20 to 25 yards, sometimes closer. I'm not interested in shooting a turkey at 50 yards, but I still want the capability to have up to 40 yards. That's kind of my self limit is 40 yards, but I don't want to have a 40-yard pattern that's nice and too tight and close. So I'm trying to get the best of both worlds, and I just kind of came up with a 15-inch circle. I mean, that's a nice size pattern at 25 yards, in my opinion, for me personally. And then a 20-inch circle at 40 yards. So, and 90+% of the pellets are contained evenly. It looks like a pepperoni pizza, but a bunch of teeny pepperonis, evenly distributed. There's no big gaps or anything. I just love how it's shooting. Whether it's the shells or the gun itself, it shoots great. And I went and put about 10 rounds through it yesterday, just trying different types. I was shooting combination blends of pellets, of shells and everything, and I settled on the number 9s. Just seemed to always work for me, and that's what I ended up settling on.
Do you think a lot of people are going to be switching to 20 gauge in the next few years?
Oh, a lot of people already have.
Yeah.
Except for the people shooting like lead, they're still, you see it on social media, they want to, the only reason they shoot 3.5 is because they don't make it in 4-inch, that sort of thing. I've shot enough guns and turkeys over my lifetime. I don't care I've never really shot 3.5s. I bought some years ago and I didn't like them. Even in my 535 12 gauge, it chambers 3.5-inch shells. That's why it's called a 535, because it's a 500 model platform that can chamber 3.5. I always shot 3.5-inch shells. Not only does a it cycled them really well. It was a shorter shell, and being a gun that's chambered for 3.5, you don't have any problems when you're ejecting them really quick, getting hung up. If you've ever watched my videos, I shoot my gun, my pump, about as quick as someone can an auto loader can load it.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I seem to have pressure on it. As soon as I squeeze a round off, it cycles. And if I shot a 3.5-inch shell out of a 3.5-inch gun, I found myself sometimes I cycled them so quick the shell didn't even get out all the way, and it got rammed back and caught in there. So
Gosh, man.
and 3-inch shells do great for me. So